said we're going to look at sort of what the product offering is, what our advantages are over the competition, and some of the promotions we're running. So, basically what we've done is we've discontinued selling Rinnai water heaters. We're just selling out the inventory we have left. And the reasons that drove us that way were multiple. One of them was that sort of Rinnai seemed to have bundled all the sort of ducting and sort of extras for install as well as the actual unit, which just sort of caused a lot of frustration with the dealers. And many of the water heaters that are now on the market use PVC and or standard steel. So it just made no sense for Rinnai to sort of take that position. We also felt that there was some overlap with Eternal, which we've been selling particularly successfully, but needed something for you, the dealers, that maybe was at a better price point, but maybe not in the same sort of quality bracket. State also actually gives us a tremendous commercial offering. So we now have a vendor who sort of provides both residential and commercial products. And also, it was sort of like allowing us to sort of consolidate it into the existing state portfolio. We now have one vendor who has everything that we need for you, the dealer. And you can go to your customers and say, with this one vendor, I can cover all your needs. So just thinking about how it all fits together, we have, we see Eternal as our premium product. Then we see the state's high-efficiency tanks and tankless products sitting in that mid-market, and then just the standard state being at the bottom with the 40, 50-gallon gas and electric products. So I'm going to handle this. I'm going to hand this over to Bob, and he's actually going to walk through the products and their key features. It's Bob.
All right. Thanks, David. Hello, everyone. Like David said, we're going to take you through the product offering advantages that we have over the competition. First, I'll get you up to speed how we got to this point. A.O. Smith Corporation purchased Takagi North America. So we actually own Takagi in North America. We have a factory in California where the units are assembled. It's actually in the works. Within the next 2 years, we will be manufacturing our tankless units here in the U.S. So we'll actually have 100% American-made, a U.S.-made tankless unit, which will be really, really beneficial. With that being said, our product offering on the non-condensing side, there's 3 residential models, a 110, 310, and 510. And then we have 2 commercial units, a 710 and a 910, which we'll be digging into a little bit further here. So the 110 is 140,000 BTU input, stainless steel vented, your typical non-condensing venting. We have direct vent conversion kits available, or you can pull your combustion air in from the surroundings and just vent out that way with your exhaust. The remote is now included with every single unit, and the power cord is included as well. The 310 model is 190,000 BTU input, pretty much the same features as the 110, obviously just a higher BTU input. We have the 510 unit, which is 199,000 BTU input. Again, direct vent conversion kit is available. The difference between the 510 and the 310 and 110, the 510 you can link up to 4 units together. There at the bottom, they're noting that we use HRS 35 copper with our heat exchangers in our non-condensing units. I'll be touching that a little bit later on, but I'll just elaborate on that right now. Our copper heat exchanger is a better grade than everybody else's. We use better grade copper with our non-condensing, and we actually use better grade stainless steel with our condensing, which I'll get into that as well. I just wanted to touch on that it's in black and white that we actually have a better unit when it comes to our heat exchanger. That brings us to our commercial models, our 710, which is 240,000 BTU input. You can link up to 4 units with just a communication cable, no additional external controller. And then you can link up to 20 units with a multi-unit controller. You can convert them, and they are ASME ratings are available for those units.
What about applications do people typically put these in?
We do various applications, restaurants, probably this one, laundromats, healthcare facilities, where the demand will vary from a low demand on the GPMs to a very high demand. So having multiple tankless units is nice because you're not firing them all at once. They're staging, and you're only firing what is needed. And then that brings us to our 910, which is our largest non-condensing model. That's our commercial model, 380,000 BTU input. Again, easy to link up to 4 units with just a communication cable, and then you can link up to 10 units with a multi-unit control. The other real nice feature with our commercial units, the 710 and the 910, is they use dual heat exchangers inside the units. I'm not sure if we have a slide here that shows that or not. But there's 2 heat exchangers inside the unit. So what's nice about that is if you lose one of the heat exchangers, you still have the other one. The unit is still going to operate. So you can still provide hot water, which is super critical in public places such as restaurants or healthcare facilities, that without hot water, without the ability to supply hot water at a minimum of, some codes are 110, some are 120. If you can't provide the hot water, you're not allowed to operate. You actually have to close your doors. So that's a really nice feature on the commercial side that gives you the ability, redundancy. So that brings us to our condensing models. On this side, we have 3 models available, a 240, a 340, and a 540. I thought this next slide was going to show our unit sizes. The 240 is 160,000 BTU input, and the 340 is 180,000. And then that brings us to the 540, which is 199,000. PVC vented, 3-inch PVC up to 70 feet, 4-inch up to 100 feet. And you can easily link with the 540 up to 20 units together. And one thing that we've been coming across versus the Renai units, I'll get into the comparisons here as well. But with the Renai units, with the R75, for example, is 180,000 BTU input, stainless steel vented. We see them on in specs all the time on plant spec jobs. And what we started doing, we can equal that with our 310 model. But when you look at it, the cost is typically more to go with a non-condensing unit, which is a 0.82 energy factor. The materials add up to a lot more cost. Then with the 240 unit, is 160,000 BTU input, 0.95 energy factor, Energy Star rated, PVC vented, just an all-around better unit, and in some cases will be less expensive. So I use the 240 as an example there, but obviously that same concept will apply to the other sizes as well. I'm going to backtrack here. I touched on it earlier that we use a higher grade copper heat exchanger than anyone else in the industry on our non-condensing. On our condensing models, we use 2 heat exchangers. And this is another benefit with our model, with our non-condensing units, that gives us an advantage over the competition. We use 2 heat exchangers. The primary heat exchanger is copper, and the secondary heat exchanger is stainless steel. And in both of those cases, the grade of copper and the grade of stainless is better than anybody else's in the market. And again, it's in black and white. You look at the grade that we're using, a 316L on the stainless steel. Navien uses all stainless steel in their unit, and it's a lot lesser grade. It's 410 or something like that, but it's a lot lesser grade stainless steel than ours. The reason why we use two heat exchangers: copper is a better heat transfer than stainless steel, and stainless steel obviously is more corrosion resistant. So we're doing our initial heat transfer in the copper heat exchanger, and then we're doing our secondary transfer in the stainless steel where the condensing is taking place. That's why we use the two heat exchangers. So a couple things: we're getting a better heat transfer altogether, and the longevity of the unit is going to be better than using straight copper or straight stainless steel. Here's these charts are highlighting some of the things that we've already touched on. Rinnai, again, they do have a condensing model, but you have to use their proprietary venting. So you can't just buy Schedule 40 PVC or pull it off your truck or out of your inventory and use it. So that's a large drawback for them. Navien only has the condensing units. They're limited on their models, whereas we have the full breadth of product offering the whole way across the line. Controller. Every single one of our units, I mentioned the non-condensing units come with the control. Our condensing units actually have the control built on the indoor models, have the control built right into the front cover of the unit. The outdoor models actually come with the unit, but obviously it's a remote unit that you would mount inside. And the competition does not do that. Navien does not do that. It's an adder. And I think Norris, we'll cover it up here, David. I can't see the other. There we go. There we go. All right. Norris offers it as well, but that's an additional charge as well. And again, I touched on 3-inch PVC up to 100 feet, and I'm sorry, up to 70 feet, and 4-inch up to 100 feet with our models. And there's a snapshot of the competition. Norris, you can use Schedule 40 PVC at 3-inch, but only up to 16 feet. And Navien, they can do 3-inch up to 100 feet. But you cannot use Schedule 40 if you have it on a research system over 150 degrees. But typically, how often are you going to see a run even close to 100 feet? The most typical installation is going to be 20, 30 feet and less. All right, we already touched on the 240s and the 340s and the 540. And again, we can easy link with the 540 unit. You can easy link 4 units and 20 units, similar to the non-condensing models. And there's a snapshot of our primary heat exchanger, and there's our stainless steel secondary heat exchanger, as we already touched on. Us versus them is kind of a recap of some of the things I've already touched on. Looking at the different manufacturers there and the advantages that we have over all of them. And with Navien, they hit the market running with the PVC venting several years ago, and they've had some design changes along the way, and they just most recently had another one because of how their unit functions. But I just want to touch on, they have a buffer tank and a circulator inside. And there's misconception that the circulator is the recirc system. It's actually, they need that buffer tank and the circulator to keep to get the unit up to temperature, to help get it up to temperature quicker. Their unit can take anywhere from 45 seconds to a minute to get up to temperature. Our unit is up to temperature in about 5 seconds tops. They use pressure switches. That's one of the biggest reasons why they need these two components inside their unit, whereas we use all thermistors, and we are monitoring the water temperature in 7 or 8 different locations inside the unit at all times. So it takes us about 5 seconds to get up to full temperature. All right, with that being said, I'm going to turn it over to David.
Okay, so in terms of just helping, you, the dealers, embrace the product, for the first 50 guys, we're going to do who buy it via Tankless, we'll actually provide a $100 gift card. We also have a personal use program for dealers so that if you want to sort of try it at your home, at the office, or with some of your key guys, we're passing through a discount of $300 from state, and we're just selling it at cost. We've also, and state have been very generous, they're giving triple rewards on every tank that's brought in 2013, and the contractor rewards program is very generous anyway. And then what we're going to do in September, October, we're going to run a full expenses factory trip down to Nashville, and September, October, have a look at the factory and have a good night out in Nashville, which apparently is quite easy, and return the next day. We also have a live-fire demo available that we can take to any of your offices and show the product.
And do a full training meeting, on the unit. We can do a tear down of the unit, how to maintenance it. We can make a training meeting, whatever your needs are.
So this is a quick sort of like how state maps Renai, to help you sort of look at what the translation would be. Product strength, like we said, we think we have the full range of heating capability, both natural gas, propane, indoor, outdoor, condensing, non-condensing, and then from a application perspective, we cover residential, light and heavy duty commercial. Plus, we've got all the products that state has in the tank line as well. Great warranty both on the residential and commercial units.
If I could say something to that, on the residential warranty, we actually just changed the warranty on all the residential units. We went from a 12-year on the heat exchanger to a 15-year warranty, which I believe is the highest in the industry. And the 5-year parts is going to remain the same as the 1-year labor.
Okay, we have a question from Joe. A dealer with the floor, radiant, and hot water coil application that requires 85,000 BTU, which unit would we recommend? And what accessories would they need? And as ever, very polite from Joe because he says thank you at the end.
So you're asking for, I believe you're asking for a dual purpose unit for domestic water and for heating. Our units are domestic only. We don't have a combi unit that does domestic and actually the boiler as well. We do have one in the works. We will have one in the near future, but as of right now, all of our tankless units are on the potable side.
Joe, give me a call because we do have access to the product line that does cover that. So, one of the things that we all thought was very attractive was the ability to have a brand that covered all of your hot water needs. And then have a very attractive contractor rewards program. You generate points being prizes, and there's all sorts of things that you can get from toolkits all the way through to TVs. So, we think that the Tankless fits into our state water heater portfolio and gives you, the dealers, a complete solution that you can take into the home and seamlessly work through the homeowner needs and match with that one vendor. We think that on the Tankless side, it seems to be a better technology, certainly than what we were seeing from Rinnai, particularly the condensing units and use of PVC. And looking at the price performance, we think it's fantastic, and it gives you something that fits in that mid-range that we were missing. And really, it's all about how we're trying to work with you, the dealer, to build the total water heater solutions that you can take out to your homeowners. So, and if anyone's got any questions, please ping them. We set 30 minutes actually. We've managed to come in a little ahead of that, so 25 minutes. Okay, I'm going to say that we've answered all your questions, and I just want to thank everyone for the time and have a great day.